You know that person, right? The one who is always, without fail, early for everything. I'm not talking just on time, I mean consistently 15, even 20 minutes ahead of schedule. Now you might just think, wow, they're super organized. But what if I told you it goes way, way deeper than that? Okay, let's get into the fascinating psychology behind why some people are always early.
And be honest with yourself for a second. Does the very thought of cutting it close, of maybe being just a minute or two late, fill you with this pit of your stomach dread? If you just nodded your head, well, you are definitely not alone. And this explainer is going to really unpack why your brain is wired that way. So the common view, the easy explanation, is that early people are just masters of time management. But the real reason, the deeper psychological truth, is that being early is actually a powerful coping mechanism. It's a strategy to manage all the anxiety that comes from the unknown and the unpredictable parts of life. Yeah, so this really isn't just about having a neat calendar or setting good reminders. It's about your brain trying to get ahead of everything that could go wrong. You know, the surprise traffic jam, realizing you forgot your keys, taking a wrong turn. Arriving early basically neutralizes all those stressful possibilities before they even have a chance to happen.
And this brings us to our first big psychological concept. This deep urge to get ahead of the game actually has a name. It's called pre-crastination. It's this impulse to lighten the mental weight of your present moment by tackling the future right now.
So you've definitely heard of its more famous cousin, procrastination, right? Well, precrastination is the total opposite. It's that compelling need to check things off the to-do list immediately. So think of arriving at an appointment as a task. For a precrastinator, getting it done early isn't just about being punctual. It gives them this immediate, almost euphoric sense of mental relief.
And why do they do it? Well, it pretty much all comes down to one thing: reducing their mental load. You see, every single task you have pending, including get to that meeting, takes up precious cognitive bandwidth. It's like having too many tabs open in your brain. By showing up early, you close that tab, freeing up mental space, and finally quieting that little nagging voice in the back of your head.
And this cycle illustrates it perfectly. First, you see the future task on your calendar. Second, you start to feel its mental weight, that little bit of pressure. So, third, you act immediately by leaving way earlier than you need to. And fourth, you get that reward, a wave of mental relief. That feeling is so good, it creates this powerful, self-reinforcing loop. But hold on, it's not just about managing tasks. There's a huge social component to this. For a lot of people, being early is a form of self-protection. It's a way to avoid the deeply uncomfortable stress of the social spotlight that you're shoved into when you're late.
I mean, this quote just hits the nail on the head, doesn't it? The second you walk in late, every single eye turns to you. You can literally feel the judgment. It's like this mini performance you never, ever auditioned for. And being early is your way of making sure you never have to step on that stage.
By getting there ahead of time, you're protecting yourself from all of these awful feelings. You get to avoid that awkward walk of shame into a silent room. You don't have to carry the guilt of knowing you held everyone up. And you totally bypass the fear of being seen as unreliable or, disrespectful. It's basically a shield against social anxiety.
So beyond anxiety, there's a third layer we need to look at: personality. For some people, being on time isn't just a strategy they use, it's a fundamental part of who they are. And this is tied to a core personality trait known as conscientiousness. So what does that actually mean? Well, people who score high in conscientiousness are just naturally wired to be dependable and dutiful. They take their commitments really seriously, and for them, punctuality is a direct expression of that inner sense of responsibility. It's almost less of a choice and more of an instinct.
Right. So for this group, being late feels like a betrayal of their own core values. It's not really about what other people might think, it's about upholding their own self-image as a careful, organized, and reliable person. Punctuality becomes a matter of personal identity.
Okay, so when we put all of these pieces together, we can start to reframe what being early really means. It's not actually about the clock. It's about a deep-seated human need for control. Control over our mental state, control over how people see us, and control over our own sense of identity.
This table breaks it down really nicely. You've got precrastination, which is all about finding that mental peace. You've got protection mode, which is about dodging social anxiety. And you've got conscientiousness, which is about being true to yourself. 3 totally different motivations, all leading to the exact same outcome: getting there early.
And that, right there, is the big takeaway from all of this. Being chronically early is an outward behavior that's almost always driven by a powerful need to manage our internal world. It's a tool for regulating anxiety, stress, and our own sense of self in a world that often feels completely unpredictable.
So I'll just leave you with this final question to chew on, whether it's for yourself or for that always early person in your life. Is it truly about respecting other people's time, like we so often say? Or is it maybe, just maybe, more about protecting something much more personal, your own peace of mind? Definitely something to think about.